iPhone 17 Pro. Got this, guys.
What's going on, everybody? John here with you. It's a Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. It's going to be the site of Ball Arena, Denver, Colorado, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. So let's get into the starting lineups. Head coach by John Tortorella is VGK, 39, 26, and 17 on the season. Again, as I always mentioned, had more losses than they did wins since John Tortorella took over. This team has been going into a different stratosphere. They're 8-4 in the postseason. They've been playing pretty well. Jack Eichel, Ivan Barbashev, Pavel, Dorofeyev with Braden McNabb and Shea Theodore. Smoke Carlson, Brett Hahn, Mitchell Marner with Noah Hannafin and Rasmus Anderson. The Calgary boys still in that second line. Tomas Hertl, Brandon Saad, Colton Sissons, Nick Dowd, Cole Smith, Keegan Colstar will be that fourth line with Ben Hutton and Dylan Coghlan. It'll be Carter Hart in net for the Vegas Golden Knights, and if you go through his numbers in the postseason, he's a guy that has been around 925, 930 save percentage. He's punched way above his weight, way above the 891 of 11-3-3 in the regular season that he was with the 271 goals against. So you can talk about everything you want in Mitch Marner, about 17, 18 points leading in the postseason, Jack Eichel being the setup man, and the depth of the Vegas Golden Knights. All that would be correct, but I can also say to you, if not for Carter Hart, they wouldn't even be in this position right now. They'd be in round 3, one round away from the Stanley Cup Finals. And for Jared Bednar's squad in the Colorado Avalanche, it sounds like this. 55, 16, and 11 on the season. They are 8-1 in the postseason. So right now, on the ESPN panel, before I get into the rest of it, they have Kevin Weeks, PK Subban, Mark Messier. I think Steve Levy already gave his prediction. Mark's got Colorado in 7. Kevin has Vegas in 7. PK has taken Vegas. I know Steve Levy also has Vegas in 7. So everyone else on the ESPN panel, 3 out of 4 have taken Vegas. 40 of 42 that was selected across the board, not including those guys, have taken Colorado to win in 6 or less. But that whole entire panel likes Vegas in the upset. We'll see if we get to that. Game 1 is going to be a long way to withstand that, but I don't see it yet. I think even without Cale, Makar tonight, Vegas should probably lose in 6. There is depth here. There's experience. That's what makes it interesting. We'll talk more about that. So 55, 16, 11, as mentioned with Colorado, 8-1 in the playoffs. Their lineup sounds like this. Nathan MacKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, Marty Necas with Devin Taves and Josh Manson. Brock Nelson, Artturi, Lehkonen, and Nick Waugh. It's an interesting second line. Not as much depth there. Brent Burns and Sam Malinski will be on the back end. So the other lines that was suggested, Sam Malinski should be on the top line with Devin Taves. I think it'll be Brent Burns and Brett Kulak, and then Sam Malinski and Jack Ashan, if that holds correctly. Nazem Kadri, Ross Colton, Val Nichushkin, no change in that third line. Jack Drury, Parker Kelly, Logan O'Connor will be on the fourth. Joel Kiviranta will be scratched alongside Nick Blankenberg. It'll be the other part of the Lumber Company and Scott Wedgwood to go ahead and man the goal crease. Now for Wedgwood, in the regular season, he was pretty much perfect as can be. When you look through his numbers, 45 games played, 31, 6-6, a 202, 921, and 4 shutouts. Hasn't had that same type of luxury in the postseason, but he hasn't had to have been that good. You had Mackenzie Blackwood get into one game in which he won, which had a goals against average of over 3.5. But it should be Wedgwood's net unless something goes horribly wrong. But again, you got both of these games at Ball Arena before it switches over. It does concern me a little bit that Cale Makar is not going to be playing today, but I think probably you just manage it for game 1 and 2. Obviously, who's healthy this time of year outside of the Carolina Hurricanes, who haven't played in 12 days, coming from tomorrow. But I think you probably save Cale for games 3 and 4. But as always, John, right now, let me know what you think. Who wins this series? I still have Colorado comfortably. I think they're going to at least do it 6. I don't think this is going to be the longest series, but that will come down to probably what happens tonight. If Vegas can come out, dictate the game, go out and win game 1, at least during their split, who knows what they'll do on the road. This is a very important game 1 for Vegas, but I do think Colorado still has that edge. I can't see 3 out of 4 picking the upset. 30 or 32, as I've said, have taken the Avs, and most of them in 6 or less. We'll come back, we'll call the game.
Have you considered a day job?
Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
Save this Memorial Day. Shop at a retailer near you.
If we're going to play as fast as we possibly can, we'll make all the right decisions with and without the puck, okay? We want to make sure we're on our toes. We respect it by how our people beat, but you can't give too much respect, right? We have to stay aggressive in our defending, check the puck back, that's in all 3 zones, and then let's get up and go and get back. That's all our team getting in it. Let's just be the best version of ourselves we can possibly be.
And Bednar, his words a moment ago, the Avalanche taking the ice. Perfect 5-0 at home in these playoffs. There in Ball Arena. And Vegas Golden Knights 4-2 on the road in the postseason. Here's public address announcer Alan Roach.
If you're able, please stand and join us for the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Performed this evening by Amanda Huckett.
Oh, can't you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight and whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night for the ramparts we were so gallantly streamed. Heaven is
No, I'm good.
Oh, sing the sad star spangled banner o'er the land of the free, the home of the brave.
Well, it was an outstanding rendition of the national anthem there. Again, you have the Golden Knights and the Avalanche, with the exception of Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. And we're going to see what we're about to get. Avalanche are 5-0 on their home ice so far in this postseason. We're going to be getting underway here. 8-4, 237, 917. No shutouts yet for Carter, but 2 goals against or fewer in 5 of the 6 starts in the second round. A lot of Jakob Dobesh in Carter Hart, is there not? 7-1, 221, 914. First 4 games, 4 goals against. Last 4 games, 11 goals against for Wedgwood. So a little bit of a mixed bag there. Is this goaltending tandem from 2026 stronger than the 2022 version of Darcy Kemper and Pavel Francouz? That is a big question I have in the back of my mind as we're getting later into the NHL postseason. Again, it is a Wednesday, May 20th, so we're getting close to that June parallel, and the Cerulean and Maroon have it now as they'll go from right to left Send this one down the ice. It's Noah Hannafin off a clear attempt. And the away Whites as Jack Eichel pushes this one up ahead, and a long shot will be held by Wedgwood from Pavel Dorofeyev in the first 17 seconds of this Game 1 Western Conference Final have expired. John Hunter with you. I'm your play-by-play man watching this one on ESPN. You kick back and enjoy, okay? Because this is going to be a great series between these two. This is two veteran-laden teams that have had recent Stanley Cup success, so plenty of reason to be excited. I will tell you, I do want the Avalanche to make it to the Cup Finals because I do feel like they have the 2022 renditions back in them 4 years later. It took them a while to get back to this point, so now you might as well try to take advantage of it, correct? As Marty Necas has this one taken away from him by Jack Eichel. And to the left side here is MacKinnon. Will stop. Off the drop pass from Malinski, and this one goes wide of Carter Hart. It'll be Nathan MacKinnon near the left side boards. Barbashev has it. We'll try to get it into the left side. Help from Shea Theodore. This will go back to Colorado nonetheless. Devontae's push this one up ahead as this will be looped back down the ice. Gabe Landeskog will go chase. Long shot will get deflected by Burns. Picked up now off the turnaround as it's Malinski off the drop trying to find Kulak. And this one will go just wide. Recollected now for Colorado. Good sauce pass. Artturi Lehkonen trying to pick this one up off the back skate. Now toward the right side boards. 35 block shots for Theodore. Tied second most in the NHL, only behind Mike Matheson of Montreal with 38. But again, they played a lot of extra games. 16 games played for Montreal. 15, if I do my math correctly, just the 8 for the Carolina Hurricanes as you go 8-0. From behind now, Nichushkin tried to find it. Now it's Makar. It's the line numero trace out there. Shot from Kulak deflected as Kadri has it now. Number 91 back in the same uniform he won the Cup in 2022. As it's sent back around the inboards. Here's the choo-choo train back to defense. Picked up now as Manson throws it to Nichushkin toward the left side boards in Vegas with Tomas Hertl finally get this one back down. And across the Colorado Avalanche logo, this will be cleared in from 70. Picked up on the back skate now for the cerulean and maroon. It's Manson up toward the right side off the half spin. Gets around the fourth line of a Sean. Trying to get this one now is Hannafin. Picking up off the back pass from Rasmus Sanderson. Got some trouble with it near the left side red line. Logan O'Connor out there. He'll circumvent as well as a hit is missed up high. And a clear back down. Colorado will go ahead and get to this one first as the icing's negated. Kulak got a piece of it. As this is picked up now for Drury, got it sticked away from him. And now Colorado will make their changes. Good intercept right in near the players' bench. Necas trying to lead there for Landeskog. Landeskog off the spin and turn. Here's Necas on a backhand feed. MacKinnon had to go through some traffic, lost the puck. Brent Burns, 41 years of age, 1,579 games all told. As Necas, here's MacKinnon across the right lane, sharp angle chance, gets canceled off before it ever hit Carter Hart. Taze will get it back in the high slot. Clapper for MacKinnon. Look, there's a slap pass. It was loose in front, and Vegas will clear it off the flutter, and they'll get it now. And on the back pass, Vegas will look to get settled, and as their lines will do so in their own end, I can do the same. Here is a long wrister. This will get blocked off of Nick Waugh and picked up now on Vegas in their own end. Near the left side dot. Wrapping behind the inboards here. Marner lost it as it's Nelson now with a drag. He gets a shot blocked up high by Hart. Manson with a move. On a backhand, he sends it to the net, and Carter Hart will make the save as Waugh is getting held by Howden.
Colorado's depth has been improved over the course of the season. They've got 17 players with a goal already in the playoffs. And one of the things that they are really good at is pushing the other team. The longer run around the boards, the defense gets right down in the play. You saw the early pitch gave a chance for Brock Nelson. And there's Benson. There was room up over top of the right shoulder of Carter Hart. He had to cut that one out. Really good. First 4-minute push by the Avs.
Kadri going to get set to take this. 9 of the last 10 shot attempts in game so far. So Colorado's had a good start. 15:55 left in the first. The shots on goal is not actually up on the board at ESPN. It's always a pet peeve of mine. As Deshaun will hold this one in as Kadri wins it. There's a wipeout back in behind the net there of Colorado, Nick Waugh, as this is a partial break for Keegan Kolesar of all people, but this was saved by Wedgwood with the right pad. Turnaround now, Dowd gets dispossessed by Kadri. Manson has some work to do in his own end. Colorado, another good hit behind the net. This is Vegas with it from a severe angle, picked up by Rasmus Sanderson. I'll wrap it around the kick flick. It's Keegan Kolesar now being chased. This is a very physical game so far as the bodies trying to get in front of the puck, and Wedgwood with a long snare will glove it down and behind his own net. The defensive tandem of Manson will have this now. So Manson with a Sean, as it was in the third line, and the projecteds that I read a couple hours ago is still the same way. Picked up now for Sean. His flip is not out. Howden will get this one up high while Bill fires it wide of Scott Wedgwood. Here is a stick attempted lift as this goes back here for Marner. Marner now play the carom as this is sent behind the inboards. And the captaincy gave Landeskog throw it ahead. Long outlet floating pass for Necas, who's got speed. It's a 1-on-3. Stick chop knocks it out of the way through the neutral zone. So Colorado going to get started again. 14:20 left in the first. Haven't had time to really write the notes down because there's been too much action. Not as many shots, but a lot of defensive attention to detail so far. Brent Burns. With Kulak out there. Picked up here on the offensive end, Ross Colton off the flip pass. Here is Kulak off the drop. We'll give and go, try to chase this around the inboards here. Jack Drury across the right side wall. This falls to Kulak. We'll turn around, throw it back to the point, and this will get deflected down. As Burns out there. Here's a 3-on-2. Cross pass. Good save, Wedgwood. As a diving shot attempt will go just wide. Rasmus Anderson will pick it up off the Dorofeyev miss and ripping it behind the inboards. Kulak will lose it in his own end, but the clear will go right to Wedgwood and will have to hold at 13:33.
Most expect a tight series. There's been chances in each end already. Keegan Kolesar right away. He tests Wedgwood, who makes a left-handed stop. Wedgwood has to fight this deflected puck and swats it away from Hertl. It stays 0-0.
So Kolesar denied by Wedgwood.
Candy, no. Oh, get out. Shoot. That never happened. Thanks to the guy come up. Help her right back.
The shots are 3-3 at 13:33 of the first.
Oh, that's the thing you said. Yep, there's no fees or anyone on Capital One checking. What's in your wallet? Boy. Wow, DraftKings, that's an impressive offer. Want to call this a hit? Yeah, great offer. Biz? What's with this? I've watched a lot of hockey through the Pavel.
So Kulak 27, Kelly 17. I'll make sure I get that corrected as far as the play-by-play because it looked pretty similar across when I was watching it.
It's legal defense. The crowd is yours. Rise. Far.
Welcome back to Denver. So the NHL hit Vegas with unprecedented sanctions last round for big violation of media policy. A $170 fine for Coach Tortorella and the loss of a second-round draft pick. Now, yesterday, the NHL offices in New York, Tortorella and management held a criminal Dorofeyev case appealed to the case, and I'm told that they were very remorseful, but didn't give excuses. The NHL is keeping the punishment, and guys, does that sound like they're in time to give that draft pick back?
That'll be something to deal with.
It'll be a face-off, one defensively, but Jack Eichel will steal. It was a centering feed out in front for Dorofeyev, as Eichel still working with it. He has it on the left side. Here's another centering pass, but it goes wide of Barbashev. And now Colorado, off of that face-off win for Vegas, they had it for a moment. It does not turn into a goal. Devon Toews got to peel back alongside Necas, who's got a ton of wheels. He will throw a backside hip in to try to get this puck. Rasmus Anderson off the pin, and this goes to Nathan MacKinnon, and rolling back down the ice to Noah Hannafin. 12:50 left to go in the first. Vegas leads the shot board 4-3. We're scoreless in this first period of the Western Conference Finals, Game 1. Glad you could join me here. If you're listening along, I hope you enjoy this series because we know it should be a good one. As Nick Waugh, Farmers in the left side corner. He's digging out there. Carlson on the lurk as we get an inside camera shot from ESPN. Nichushkin. Try to find a good back pick there for Kulak. We'll allow this to keep it in the zone for Artturi. Lehkonen now. Try to center it out in front for Waugh. And Manson steps up, flattens his man. Good chance for Nelson to shoot in the middle of the slot. And this will be held by Carter Hart. Credit Josh Manson for making that play as Brock Nelson let an 80-mile-an-hour wrister go. Here being ozone draw for Nazem. They get set to take this one. Tomas Hertl will win this one straight back. There's a long outstretch. Vegas is a little off sides, and maybe we'll get some pushing and shoving there. Riley Smith thought he might have been scratched on the projection lines, but he is out there today, one of the original tenured Golden Misfits. As you get a commercial half and half there showing the Buffalo Sabres. Lindy Ruff just got a 2-year extension to show their faith in him after the second round playoff run for the Buffalo Sabres. Again, Jared Bednar is still one of the longest tenured coaches for Colorado, alongside John Cooper. Went straight back again for Vegas, but will touch the blade of Carter Hart. And Hutton will flip this one on the left side. He got fourth line out there. Dowd, a couple of Vegas Golden Knights take a tumble right near the players' bench as Colorado tries to chase. Long outstretch will bounce off the right side of the neutral zone. And Nazem Kadri will go on the opposite end and dump it in. Here is Nichushkin. We'll try to get aggressive on the forecheck here as Vegas looks to break out. Across that left side red one, there is Kadri one more time off the steal. We got a Sean to the right as it's Manson now with the puck. Manson throws it in. And this will chip off of Drury, who falls down on top of the puck near the right side boards. You got Logan O'Connor, no Joel Kiviranta. He was scratched. Jack Drury, the former Carolina Hurricane, trying to dig that puck out alongside former St. Louis Blue Brandon Saad. Will emerge with it now. Chip and trace across the inboards. Will work out, and it's going to be a penalty call, maybe a trip against Colorado here at 10:58. Credit Saad, able to drive that play, and it's going to be the first power play of the game for the Gold. Brent Burns get busted for the hook at 10:58 of the period.
Used to have 5 forwards when John Tortorella took over. It didn't seem like it was going to be a thing that Tortorella was going to stick with. Now they go to 4 forwards and with one defenseman that Shea Theodore, more traditionally, more powerful, but a lot
Hertl off the face-off tie-up. Colorado tries to chase it, and they'll get possession here. Again, no Cale Makar in this game one. I probably would have to think he would miss game two as well, especially if Colorado won, and you would save Cale for the hostile crowd in Vegas. That's if you get that luxury. Mitch Marner. Now for Pavel Dorofeyev. He is canceled off near the right side dot. Theodore gets it to Eichel. Here, pirouette off a half spin. Got it on his forehand now to the right side red line. Back to Shea, and now Jack from the left dot. Eichel still looking in the bumper slot for Marner. He tried to get it back there to Eichel. And now across the right side boards, Colorado finally, third attempt, shovels it out. 1:10 left to go on the Vegas power play. We are halfway through the first. John here with you on the play-by-play. Watching this Western Conference final game one on ESPN. Eichel with a pass middle of the slot. Hanifin, Dorofeyev leaves it off, and this is deflected. Eichel throws it in behind the end boards. Marner hit hard as it's Eichel. Dorofeyev fans on the 1T. He was open near the right dot, but he just missed connecting with the blade. Hanifin now, as it's played by Carter Hart. Get some camera shots of Pavel there. Found him late in the first round, and he has been a godsend for Vegas. That's Howden. And off the drop, it's Hanifin now. Off the loop against the inboards. Devon Tays will get a whistle away from the puck. I'm really not sure what it's for, but 24 seconds. Might have been played with a high stick.
Vegas gets a face off to the left of Scott Wedgwood. The puck will come back into the circle, although the referees overruled that. Actually, Wes McCauley said, no, it's not a high stick. So that draw comes outside the blue line.
So the draw's outside the blue line. We got a neutral one for the left side as we're still scoreless at 9:21 of the first. Brent Burns in the box for what he hopes is 24 more seconds. So it was a hook on Brandon Saad. He got away with a couple of those. He just called him for the one. A little pushing and shoving away. Josh Manson trying to get some positioning there on Rasmus Anderson, his defensive stalwart. Both of those guys very good at what they do. Much different teams now between what they were with the Ducks and the Calgary Flames from years ago. Rasmus Anderson, now Barbashev. Manson throws another body check. Gets it to Nichushkin and rattles it around the kick plate and out. 5 seconds left to go on the Vegas power play. Going to go for naught. By the time they get to the neutral zone, it should expire. Hanifin, now Howden near the right side boards. Teams return to full strength. And off the drop pass, Marner and Barbashev trying to find it. Barbashev throws it right to the cerulean and maroon. Here is a chip. It'll go off the inboards here, and Colorado can get off the ice. Brent Burns, he's back out there, as this is a good step up on a hit that will give Colorado puck possession. The captain seeing Gabe Landeskog throw this one ahead. Landy's got it now toward the left side. Here's a forehand protect. Here's a chance to throw it out center in front of Carter Hart. But Vegas is there to clean it up. Again, they don't have all of the same high leverage bodies of 6 feet that can skate as they used to when they initially won the cup, but they still kind of play that same defense. This gets deflected up and out of play. It'll be a neutral zone draw upcoming. Vegas won in 6 games versus Colorado in 2021. We'll see what they'll do this time around. We'll take a break.
Captain Clutch has come alive. One of the greatest comebacks in NBA playoff history.
Eastern Conference Finals. Cavaliers Knicks. Game 2 on ESPN.
The security addiction, this shirt is a must-have in the club. I was tired of floppy collars and shirts and sweatshirts. So I got this shirt I saw on TV, and now I don't have to worry. I got it shipped in no time. And I switched from regular polos to this. The brand is called Power.
So Vegas power play is unfruitful.
So many problems by operating. No dry cleaning needed anymore. I'm free from uncomfortable long sleeves and the collars they stiff all day. Get 20% off today using code CBD at collegeapparel.com. Your sitting hurts. It's not just pain, it's your
So I'm looking at this right now. Brock Nelson's got a couple of shots, and so does Josh Manson. Those are the only ones that have shots right now for the Avalanche. And for VGK, 2 for Dorofeyev, 1 for Eichel, 1 for Hertl, 1 for Pulsar, and that was the break. So check that from earlier. It is a ozone draw. Nathan MacKinnon against Walt Dill. MacKinnon loses it off the tie-up. Vegas gets possession of the 3-on-3. Across the left side boards, be looped in. MacKinnon plays it. Marner with a backspin. Pick it up and behind the net now for VGK. Ozone time has been about dead even. Maybe 10 seconds apart as Wedgwood takes a shot from the left point and holds with no traffic in front. So it'll be an ozone draw coming for Vegas. Shot board made 6-4. Tomorrow I'll be back with you around the same time. Swing around to TNT if I can speak. It is Suzuki and Stanko that have been profiled from the ESPN side. That'll be on TNT. It's been 12 days since the Carolina Hurricanes even played a game. And they'll have to go against the Montreal Canadiens, who won their series in back-to-back 7-gamers against Tampa when they only had 9 shots, and then Buffalo, they held on to a 2-0 lead until Newhook finished that one off in OT. Settle back around the inboards here. Picked up now for Devontae's. Got Artturi Lehkonen off the drop, but it doesn't get there. Vegas will get it out to Jack Eichel across the right wing. Great sauce pass. This one just high of the right post. Picked up now for McNabb, and Vegas almost lost it there as Lehkonen was on the prowl. This will go back to Wedgwood. Be forced to play it behind his own net. Can't see these two teams are feeling each other out just yet, as it's 7-10 left to go in the first. Shot board is 7-4 Vegas, but I have noticed the physicality and the propensity to throw the body for both of these squads. I'm liking what I'm seeing in this game so far. Howden off the spin. Carlson had his pass blocked from behind the mesh of Wedgwood. This is fluttered toward the net by Marner. They'll pick it back up. Rister was a great design. Marner gets stonewalled by Wedgwood. Vegas now with some puck possession on the backhand. Good power move. Keep this one alive near the right side boards before finally Ross, the former Tampa Bay Lightning man, gets the steal. This will be sent back down deep and iced against BGK. That was a really good sequence there from Mitch Marner. Show that space there between Eichel, Barbashev, and Marner. They're just beautifully sequenced from right to left. It's like a V formation, attacking up 60 feet. They're spread, and they're all ready to go ahead to receive a pass. Face-off win in the O-zone as Brent Burns gets his shot blocked. Landy now off the tie-up. It's Marty Necas. He gets wiped out by Hannafin across the right side boards, and this will be settled back down for Josh Manson. Manson has it into the neutral zone. His pass gets deflected by a couple of VGK blades. Manson throws a body out there as this is jumped up into the air. Necas off the drop attempt near the right side blue line is would have been off sides and a delayed hand in the air. Couldn't touch there was Landy, but he was fighting so hard for it. Didn't really notice the delay. So 5:59 left to go in the first. We're still scoreless.
Legends on both sides. When you have legends who have only been around for 9 years, you can. And the Avalanche, plenty of them as well.
Look out for signs of dehydration. Liquid IV is the only sugar-free hydration product on the market clinically demonstrated to hydrate faster than water alone. Hydrate with Liquid IV sugar-free.
Discovering Mega Menu. Inspired by
Best backup category on Barbashev, WCF mechanical and match first schedule with the match schedule. You will the power create.
Okay, stay calm. Conference final. Time to lock in. That clock is mounting. This is it. Why is my hand shaking? Oh, of course I'm not sure. Sports TV. If you listen to people like that, you don't want to come. We need different paths, different stories, same desire to win the cup.
These are two of the active coaches who have won a Stanley Cup. Tortorella a long time ago, 2004. And the Tampa Bay Lightning, Bednar, 2022. For the Colorado, they say people change over time, and I think they will.
Most postseason wins at the bottom of that list is Bednar and Tortorella with 60 and 64, a combined 124 between them. As Jack Drury will take this against Nick Dowd, a couple of fourth liners out there right now. Vegas leads the shot board 8-4, 5:59 left to go in this first stanza. Keegan Kolsar send this one back now as actually Hutton, I believe, was the one that activated back down the line. Picked up here for Burns in behind his own net. Wedgwood in the butterfly near the left post as this puck is just being stonewalled between about a bunch of bodies here. We'll see who emerges with it. There's Jack Drury. Clear attempt does not get out. Vegas can shoot in the middle of a slot. That was blocked there nicely by Sean. As this is sent behind the inboards again. He'll activate near the right. Chance in the high slot. Brister goes wide. It's a spinning vulcanized rubber. That'll be curled in off the backhand and finally out of the neutral. Here's a drop for Logan O'Connor. He hit the post. I thought that went in across the red line, but it hit the left side bar and stayed out. Wanted to make sure I didn't call a goal. It beat Carter Hart, but it didn't beat his friend, the post. As it's 5 minutes left to go in the first, and we're still scoreless here with a 1-on-1. That was a good shot, but he just missed it by an inch. As it's Lehkonen. We'll sauce it across from left to right, but off sides go the Avs.
Well, the closest we come to a goal just a moment ago, Logan O'Connor.
Colorado fortunately has really good balance.
Oh.
O'Connor, who's back after missing most of the season with hip surgery and some complications. Coming back, O'Connor can fly. He beats Hart cleanly and hits the goal post. If you think about it, Vegas' best chance was the breakaway by Keegan Kolsar, their fourth line right there. So, two teams that talk about their depth, they almost get a straight opening goals with their fourth line.
12 posts and crossbars hit third most in the playoffs. That is a very interesting stat to track. But Colorado only has one loss in their postseason. The Canes are the only team that's undefeated. They're 8-1. Vegas is 8-4 so far throughout their journey of the Mammoth and the Ducks. There's Josh Manson on the drop pass. Got Devon Tays out there with him as they mixed up the lines a little bit to Jared Bednar. As Eichel has this puck rolled away from him, he'll send it back behind, and a little 200-foot game for Jack to get things started again. Here's Dorofeyev. He will skate nicely across with Barbashev. We'll chip and chase it in. Pavel will try to send it around, but Nathan MacKinnon will get to it first. Bodies collide. Landeskog. This is not a good clear for him. Sent back around as Eichel will lurk. Tays try to get it out. He can't do so. Vegas' forecheck's been good. Sam Malinski's second effort finally will just scrape it out of the neutral zone. Everybody take a change as Shea's got the puck. Theodore, it goes back to him one more time. Up the gut, trying to look for Eichel. And Wedgwood calmly brush it aside for Kulak. Bringing him behind the end boards now. There will be a race for it. And intercepted here. Necas tried to funnel it at the net. It was loose. And Vegas will pick it up. Hutton now will roll this one down. Take a big hit across the right side boards. Both teams look to change. Nichushkin off the chip and chase. As we recollected it for Kadri. Wilson up the side of the net, and it will be held by Carter Hart as Nichushkin wants to give somebody a piece of his mind. Referees don't like it, but Ross Colton was out there with Kadri after that shot attempt.
If you watch Kolasar's going to jump off the bench here. He's number 55. He's right in his ear. And he's like, that's an elbow, and you keep your hands down as Colt draws the ire of the Golden Knights. Well, this is going to get testy before the series is done.
2:52 left to go in the opening frame. The shot board now 10-6. They credited Kadri with that shot. Colorado still trails that by 4. Scoreboard is clean though. Here's Manson off the face-off line and toward the right side boards. Spin and turn now. Dowd will pry the puck loose away from him. Noah Hannafin toward the left side dot. It's flipped up in the air. Blocked a couple of times there. Drury will try to keep it alive. Here's a backhand, and it's rolling across, but Carter Hart's Snow Angel. Parker Kelly now wants a piece of somebody, and so does Logan O'Connor. Vegas trying to get in the act, but Carter Hart, more importantly, makes a couple of saves. And on the backhand is the fourth line for Colorado, who's trying to get them on the scoreboard. It's Logan O'Connor off the steal, and Parker Kelly on the rebound. O'Connor goes to the backhand. He gets denied by the left pad of Carter Hart, and then Kelly can't stuff it to the 5-hole as Hart was down and out. And O'Connor actually does a pole vault over Carter, and that's what draws the crowd. A little late hit might be into that post. We're underway now. Here's Malinski with a ripper. Shoot loose now for Landeskog. Got one also blocked. Sent back down. Laney going to get there first. Colorado captaincy, 2:15 left to go. And this first to Bontaze. Now for Landeskog. Little chip and chase. He gets hooked a little bit. Denied a chance to be able to get in the zone as Braden McNabb. Have this one curled, but Colorado steals it. Right side blue line. Malinski try to throw it in an open corner, but there's no defenseman there. See if Vegas can break out. Mitch Marner up the gut. Now works his way to the left dot. Slows up pass attempt. Looking for Tomas Hertl. Is deflected away. There's Kulak now off a one-on-one. They'll activate him behind the net now. Kulak still trying to keep it alive as it's Marty Necas off the steal centering feed for MacKinnon, and it can't connect to his blade. 1:35 left to go in the first as this goes back to Vegas. Marner has it in behind his own net for Carter Hart. And this will be a lofted glove down here for Brent Burns. You can't get it out, though. Vegas will steal. Barbashev near the left side red line now. Burns trying to make some due diligence as this gets thrown back to the point. The Cerulean and Maroon have it now. Brock Nelson, he wants to get things going in the postseason. Nick Waugh try to wrap it around. Picked up now for Barbashev. Good activation there for Taze to knock that away with the stick check. As it's Nelson. Nelson off the drop back has nobody home. So this will go to Sam Malinski. Malinski going to take some of that time as we get a check and a penalty against Vegas. A little too handsy was Barbashev, I believe. Malinski, he goes off at 50 seconds. Colorado going to get a power play here. 50 seconds left to go in the opening frame. Vegas did not score on theirs. Nazem Kadri, again, even though he's on the third line, he's usually on the top power play unit. Landeskog, Taves. We'll take that time for Cale Makar now at this point, so the power play can look a little different. Taves, Necas, one-timer. This will be held by Carter Hart near the left post. And the one thing you have to look for, Devon Taves, no slouch, but Cale Makar, he was probably more prone to bombing a couple of wristers, moving that puck a little bit quickly. You would think the way that Colorado's power play started, even all the way through January, they're very stagnant in the way that they were getting things going. So losing someone like Cale Makar in this instance should make their power play a little bit more predictable, unless you get Nathan MacKinnon or Nazem Kadri to break it open with an individual move. I think that's what I'm looking at right now. 5 for 13 in the second round, 1 for 11 in the first round. But this is no Cale Makar. Nathan MacKinnon. Now for Gabe Landeskog across the left wing, beats Rasmus Anderson. Nazem Kadri, high slot, patient. Now back to Taves. It's MacKinnon to the left dot. MacKinnon now, Taves, slap pass, he'll hold on to it. Taves fires it through Necas. Rebound, Carter Hart made an initial save, and then Kadri hit up toward the mouth as we go to the buzzer. Kadri really sharing some words toward the Vegas bench. I don't blame him there. This crowd is booing. They're behind number 91 as they should be. And as we hit the whistle, this was sent across. What a stop there for Carter Hart with the glove hand. And then Kadri, he was punched by Braden McNabb after the whistle. He's lucky he didn't get called for a penalty there. He just sucker punched Nazem Kadri right in front of the referee. And that's how we end the first. It's 0-0.
They just left him alone. No score at the end of one. Let's go back to Steve.
Marshall, thank you. Eventful first period. Lots of great A's. Lots of great A goaltending. You can see that one yesterday and decades. I don't know goaltenders. Scott Rodwood, first half of it, caught up with their game. Unbelievable save. You shot both goaltenders. You shot right from Bateson. Same thing early on in the game. Some saves that he had no business making. So the goaltending bothered him. For me, it was very pensive first period. Control the ball from two veteran teams. Almost like two boxes.
So Colorado still got some power play time before we start the second shot board, now even at 10. Hits 17-9 for the Avs. Face-offs 9-8 for Colorado as well. Both teams would be 0 for 1 on the power play if Colorado doesn't score on the carryover.
It's our best deal of the season. 6 weeks to the rise of that. 4 new phones for $0. Plus, 4 lines for just $25 per line. Yep, that's right. 4 phones for $0. Plus 4 lines for just $25 per line. Switch, save big. Only at Verizon.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows up the same way they do. That's why Chevy's so proud is #1 in manufacturing quality. So they can build around this world. Live their whole life. And always get it done. As long as Chevy people will show up.
I'm going to put the stats here in the bottom of this box.
Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on all 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 models.
Chevrolet. Together, let's ride. My fellow Americans. Today, I am.
I'm a bit worried about Doug Jr. I know how important it is.
I'll be right back, and we'll call in a second. All right, guys, we only got about 2 more minutes until puck drop here. We're still waiting for the game's first goal. It's scoreless between the Golden Knights and the Avalanche. Think we get a goal in this period or no? We still have the Avs on the power play. Both teams will be out for one should they not score with the carryover. About a minute left to carry over for them. Looks like the Guardians and the Tigers have gone to the 10th. And OKC and San Antonio tied at 31 at the end of one. Wembanyama had a 40-20 game last time out when that went into double.
Sometimes the most impactful thing you can say is what you do on your own home. A couple of years ago, we put a pool in our backyard. There's only one choice for the next in the pool. We used to look at because of the low maintenance on the front. You can install it and just enjoy it for its lifetime. E-Pay, Redwood. I mean, after 1 year, you're sanding and refinishing. You want to keep that sharp look. If you don't want to sand and oil every year, you want low maintenance, go with Timbertech.
You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, presented by Geico. End of one period here in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Vegas and Colorado are scoreless. Time for winning ingredients brought to us by Chipotle and by Ray Morano.
Vegas in the middle part of the period had the best chances. Cole's on breakaway, Hertl shot. Stopped by Wedgwood. This is a really good save by Wedgwood.
I thought Mitch Marner had a good first period for Vegas as well. It is interesting for all the flack that he got in Toronto. He was always the one guy I always thought in particular, whether it was Alec, Ian, or Cooper. And Marner is always the guy that shows up big in the moments. And he's been really good for this Vegas team. And this is the biggest chapter of his life right now.
Colorado will start on the power play here in period 2.
So much speed on that Colorado team. Ray, you have to think they're the fastest in the NHL. Vegas dispatched 2 speedy teams in Utah and Anaheim. How much of a concern is the speed for Vegas in this series?
The speed is a concern, but what they're really concerned
Let's get going here for the second period. Still scoreless. $1:05 left to go. And Colorado's first power play. There's only been 2 across the board. Scoring chances are 8-6 Colorado, but Vegas has the majority of the chances. Notable players out: no Mark Stone for Vegas, no Cale Makar for Colorado. Necas off the drop for Kadri. Kadri will have it sticked away. Will recollect toward the left side red line through neutral. And now Necas finds the entry. Cross ice pass. Here's a drop for Landy from the left dot. Taze. Now MacKinnon left dot. They'll let one go off a couple of toe drags. It bounces up in the air. Diving play. Kadri keeps it alive. And near the right side bumper, he'll take a hit to make a play to throw it down deep and lane to Scott. Able to at least deny the clear. Here's MacKinnon across the right wall. MacKinnon back up for Kadri. Here's Taze. Does not shoot. In the high slot. MacKinnon does. Bounce up in the air. Saved by Hart. And back down the ice. And that will blow the power play dead for Colorado. 16 goal streak tied career low on regular season and playoffs. Both teams go 0 for 1 on the power play. 18:40 left to go in the second. We're still scoreless. Line numero dos out there for Jared Bednar. As this will be Brock Nelson to look this one in the corner. Picked up now for Lehkonen. And on the jump goes defenseman and Burns. It's Carter Hart up toward the mask. Now it's Nelson. And across for Burns. Burns cross ice feed for Lehkonen. That will get deflected. And now Vegas will have it. Brett Howden will try to chase into the right corner. Colorado intercepts. It's passed a little slow off the backboards there, but Lehkonen able to get it out there neutral before Vegas steals it again. Mitch Marner plays it ahead. Barbashev, he was the one that got one of the initial penalties, but nobody's been burned on. Barbashev now. Hutton trying to help pry it loose as well. This is at the point. Shot gets deflected off with Chewbacca and Brent Burns. And Nick Waugh almost trying to get a stick chop there, but Hannafin able to recollect. This is Vegas with it. Rister. Wedgwood gets knocked into by his own man, and he lost his goal stick. He'll pick it back up. Now the defense gets settled as well. Crisis averted for Jared Bednar's squad. Outstretched for Burns is iced against Colorado at 17:29. This game, in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, has been even. That was Lehkonen in the goal crease of Wedgwood. Lehkonen got hit very hard into Scott Wedgwood. Able to safely guide him into the post ball, pick himself back up. It's not easy to do. Tomas Hertl, he'll win it. Theodore drills a slap shot from outside the left dot, and Wedgwood's got that between his pads at 17:27. Shot board now will be even at 12 apiece.
Not afraid to play. I just caught up with the Vegas coaching staff, and they said stylistically, this feels very similar to the Anaheim series, great pace, but they've had some talks with Marner and the entire team about just managing the puck better. 10 giveaways in the first.
So managing the puck better for John Tortorella and the squad. That's what they talk about with Marner and company. It's the same stylistic pace of speed alongside Anaheim, but Colorado is just a little more circumvent and calculating as far as the way they get plays done. So that's what you have to follow along here. One more of these for Hertl, able to win it straight back twice. Here's McNabb. His wrister gets canceled out to the neutral zone. Now have to go back to work as the Vegas defense. And Shea Theodore. McNabb, he gets hit near the left side red line. Colorado merges with it, but a stick gets shoved out of the hand of one of the Avalanche, and Parker Kelly wanted to steal someone else's stick and say, hey, you're trying to trip my guys underneath. Mitch Marner, playoff career, has 63 points in 70 games with the Leafs. He's got 18 points in 13 games with the Golden Knights. That leads the NHL this postseason. 50 assists and 13 goals, but 7 and 11 so far with the Golden Knights. So that scoring by committee is not just for Austin Matthews on the Leafs. Mitch Marner able to do a lot of that heavy lifting. I think that's what a lot of Maple Leafs fans wanted. If you even that out a little bit more, maybe they could have got to a Stanley Cup final. But Mitch Marner's been great. Necas on his backhand, works his way to the left dot, spins away. Turnaround chance, gets redirected and behind the net. And now Taves for Landeskog gets MacKinnon from the left dot. MacKinnon trying to throw it back to the point, and Vegas will chase. Wedgwood sees that, will get out of his goal crease. This Colorado. MacKinnon accelerates the other way, cuts bottom right corner and misses it. As Necas ends up taking out Landeskog. Sam Malinski will tie it up. Malinski now tries to get a piece of it, deflects the pass, and that will allow Devin Taves to recollect in his own end. It's a 7 and a 70 here. As Sam Malinski. He has a poor pass there picked off by Wild Bill. Here is Dorofeyev. Gets his wrister blocked. Howden recollected now. Stolen. Here's Nazem Kadri. Necas. He'll work his way on his forehand behind the net. Necas right across centering feed for Manson. This is just kept in across the blue line as Colorado puts it around the horn. Goes back around for Nazem Kadri, but the pass don't connect. As it's Howden. Outstretched feed, potentially wide off the backboards. Josh Manson going to get there first, and Vegas will have to peel back. Had a couple on the forecheck there, including Howden. Colorado might have numbers here. Kadri with wrister, and this is Nichushkin. He is really tied up. No call. Manson shoots. Oh, what a stop for Hart with the glove hand. Nichushkin really trying to get that first goal of the game, and now he goes after the Vegas defense. He didn't like it hooked up toward the face. And I don't blame him. Dylan Coughlin now pushing Ross Colton, but Nichushkin was hot. He was getting hooked in toward the mouth. He was saying, hey, you hooked me, man. Keeping that up toward the face. So Wedgwood makes that pass. Nathan MacKinnon explodes across the left wing. His shot missed in the bottom right corner. And then as we press along, if they show the rest of it, it was Nichushkin off that rebound. He was just getting tied up by a whole bunch. So Manson shoots. Nichushkin gets taken down. I think he definitely had a call. And then he's just being hooked up there by the Vegas defense and Ben Hutton at 15-32. Both teams only had one chance on the man advantage, but you certainly could have called one there for Colorado. Ball Arena crowd is waving the pom-poms. That is what they have. They've changed those sticks for pom-poms there at Ball Arena, as they've done. Denver, Colorado is a sight. It'd be fun to watch these guys play. It's always high speed and relentlessness, the force of nature. This is a chance for Burns. It was loose and it's initially stopped by Hart. Picked up now near the left side dot for Nick Dowd. And cleared out. Dowd's got it. Washington Capitals man. They throw this one in the corner. Be picked up now by Burns. He'll use body position to get on Nick Waugh. Got to be smart about this. I think a lofted backhand. That was pretty good. Off the 1-on-3. Colorado's actually going to get to it first. Parker Kelly turning on the burners. And this will finally be intercepted by Vegas as they can try to go right to left. They're in the road whites with the black pants and the gold and red striping. It's the cerulean and maroon for the home team, Colorado Avalanche, per usual for games 1 and 2. Chance for Tays. This one deflected off the stick shaft to Carter Hart. Sent back behind the inboards. There it is. Josh Manson, slap shot deflected. And rolling back down off the skate blade of the Avalanche. Recollected by Logan O'Connor. And now Jack Drury steals. Drury on his backhand. Looking for a lane near the left dot. Forehand leaves it back to his defense. And this is a good pivot here. Tays. Malinski will get it back. Sam Malinski couldn't find Tays' pass. It'll go to Wedgwood. 14:05 thereabouts left in the second. John Norton, a solo call from Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Western Conference Finals, Game 1. Necas. And off the drop. Malinski in tight, cross-ice feed deflected. Picked up now for Barbashev. Touch pass is a good one. Theodore got Carlson with him. Carlson gets tied up. And that allows Wedgwood to fall on the puck at 13:47. We'll take a break.
It feels good to find the right fit. It feels good together. Taco Bell's lunchboxes don't It's mostly the notes and mainstays of the $5 box. That makes it a $7 box. In the abundance of a $9 box, it's a monumental triple-double cruncher. They start expecting everything to be as
OKC now up by 5, 48-43. San Antonio has a 1-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final. Cleveland's taking a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 10th. Looks like Detroit's going to lose another game. That is no surprise. They would be in AL Central worst 20-30. They're getting very close to the worst record in MLB territory should that continue.
Welcome back to Denver. In 2020, the COVID bubble, Scott Wedgwood gets called up to Tampa to be there. Back to Foley after a so-so year in the AHL. He's unable to work his group, so he can be the player that handed the Stanley Cup to after there was no one else to give it to. And then Wedgwood didn't know what to do with it, so he goes and happens to be Stamkos here. And Stamkos says, no, you give it to Coach Scott Cooper. Wedgwood says, well, I have to introduce myself to him first. I talked to Wedgwood before, and he said, that moment, that experience,
Jack Eichel. He'll win it. Emily Kaplan shared a pretty cool story in the COVID bubble. Scott Wedgwood was one of the last practice goalies and ended up getting the Stanley Cup, the 2020 Tampa Bay Lightning. He had to introduce himself to John Cooper as he handed him the Stanley Cup, but he said that changed the trajectory of his career. That's very cool from Emily Kaplan. 8 seasons in the AHL from 2012 to 20, and then 8 NHL seasons between 5 teams: New Jersey, Arizona, Dallas, Nashville, and Colorado. This season, 45 games, a career high, and a 202 goals against, 921 save percentage, both the best in the NHL. Funny how that works. You never give up on your dream, right? For Scott Wedgwood, now he had a fantastic situation, and he played that well to get to that point. So Will Carlson will take this draw against Nazem Kadri. He'll win it off the tie. Here is Marner. Oh, what a stop by Wedgwood. Speaking of that, as he robs Howden from the left post, keeps this game scoreless. What an excellent save there for Wedgwood, as this is down for an ice, but Colorado not going to care about that at this point. Part of the lumber yard with a beautiful save. So Carlson wins it, and Brett Howden gets wide open, and Wedgwood, beautiful read, able to just gingerly move across, make himself look big, and deny the one-timer. Howden's got 8 playoff goals. I'm glad I called that one correctly because that would have been an all-time fumble. Carlson get to take this one again. Nazem's got to try to win it this time. He can't do so once again. This goes back to Noah Hannafin. Hannafin right into the glove. Try to go 5-hole on Wedge, but he makes the save nonetheless. He's got a really awesome mask that he has. He's got some Mario characters. He's got some dogs in there. Probably a lot of the same thing for his kids or family members that put on his mask. It's pretty good art there that he's got. Be another draw near the left dot. Ball Arena crowd. They've got a good mix of that cerulean and maroon, a little bit of white as well with those pom-poms. Some Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg jerseys, Patrick Waugh, all the royalty that has been throughout this franchise, even from the Quebec Nordiques and the Colorado Avalanche. Rister is deflected, and Carter Hart makes the save. Nick Waugh tried to throw it off the outside of the cage. They were looking for Brock Nelson on the back door, and that one knocked away. Noah Hannafin will get this one up the ice. Carlson leads Marner, sauced out of the air. Carlson can't get there as Nelson will rub him out. Picked up now for Nick Waugh. And a little bit of an edge lost for Colorado as Carlson will watch this one go for an ice against his team at 12:32 of the second. Mitch Marner getting a lot of profiling here from Ray Ferraro, as he should. Again, as I always said, very overblown or anything in Toronto. It's not on Marner, especially in the way that he's played. You got a good team around you. It makes things a hell of a lot different, even when you're a star. Landeskog can't win it off the top as Carlson gets it again. That's 4 straight wins for Vegas. 3 in the O zone, 1 in the D zone. That was important there. Another 8:15 start Thursday. It'll be the Canadiens and Kings. Pair of C's going at it. 7 playoff goals for Mitch Marner, 13 playoff goals in 70 games for Toronto. So crazy how the production is shut up that much when you have a good team. It's really not. Eichel, and off the windmill, can't find it, gives it up. It's Necas, MacKinnon, but Necas overskates it. And it's picked up now by MacKinnon off the back pass and behind the net. Landeskog trying to keep it alive. Vegas does a great job to get it to the neutral. They'll get it right back. Here's Shea Theodore. Potentially wide off the inboards here. Barbashev will throw it down deep. We're almost halfway through regulation, still waiting for the game's first goal. John Under with you on your play-by-play, man. ESPN Western Conference Finals, Game 1. That's the site. Again, I don't have the avenue of Sportsnet. As this puck is iced against the Avs, they cannot change. So it'll be ESPN the rest of the way in the West, and it will be TNT the rest of the way in the East. I'll be back with you again tomorrow at the same time around 8:10 in between the Canadiens and the Canes. That will be in Raleigh. Face-off tie-up finally belongs to Colorado in their own zone. Logan O'Connor try to glove it down. Would have been offsides as Jack Drury will check back up. Vegas with an outstretched pass will go right to Wedgwood. He'll be forced to hold with the forecheck right in his grill. Right at 11-11.
The grind to this game is real. We've seen the back and forth where Colorado had a good start. And the Avs got pushed back on their heels and Vegas took over. We had a couple of really good chances for Vegas. Then the Avs took over late in the second, late first, early second. Now it's Colorado's turn to defend it. Vegas is up on their toes again. It's kind of a little bit like a boxing match right now as they trade body blows and try and soften the other up.
Carlson on the draw with Kelly.
Carlson wins another draw. This is just kept in by Ben Hutton, barely up the left side of the blade. Carlson works him behind the net of Wedgwood. Centering feed, high slot wrister. This is wide, partially blocked as well. On the back skate, O'Connor picked this one up now. Kulak now trying to activate the fourth line here for Logan O'Connor. O'Connor finishes his hit. Long outstretched feed will belong to the Avalanche. They turn right over, and then a centering feed does the same for Vegas. They'll be content to dump it in. 10:35 up to go in the middle frame. Colorado, outstretched pass. It's a good one from 100. Spin and turn now for Val Nichushkin. They'll leave near the left dot. Colorado looking for a sharp angle chance against Hart. Bounces off the end boards, and Vegas will get it out. Keegan Kolstar will do so. Rasmus Anderson probably going to get off the ice. 1.2 points per game. Third all-time by a D-man. Cale Makar is out with an upper body. So is Mark Stone. So a couple of notables on both sides. Including the captaincy. There's Jack Ashan. They'll have this one now. Ashan, excellent work. He'll skate it in for the left side red line. He got around two players. And Braden McNabb has some trouble with it in behind the net of Vegas. Good chance there with Dorofeyev off the sauce pass. Eichel try to split two players, and Wedgwood will take no chances. He'll hold near the left post with the glove hand at 9:38. They're going to step aside one more time.
This is the story of the best part of the sandwich and this recipe. Strawberry watermelon refresher is here. It's the drink where the refreshing vibe. One of the many.
So 9:38 left to go in the second. As we have this another commercial break. That was a really good setup there for Marner and Howden a few minutes ago near the right post that was saved by Scott Wedgwood. That is why we're still scoreless. This has been a chess match. Maybe a little bit more than I expected at this point. But it really does change things when Cale Makar is out. Again, you can't replace somebody like that, even though you have Josh Manson, Devontae's, Sam Malinski, Brett Kulak. A lot of guys that can still activate, skate with speed. You lose someone like Cale Makar, probably already have a goal in this game. He's that good. Maybe you could say the same thing with Mark Stone in Vegas. This is where Colorado is going to get better at in this game, in my opinion. There's draws in any end. The last 4 of 5 have been won by Vegas. And the crowd is groaning here because they just want this puck to get dropped. Landeskog was going to take it. Now MacKinnon will go against Eichel. Eichel wins it clean and then stolen by the Avalanche. As Necas will race his way to the net, and that clear attempt will go right in the glove hand first of Carter Hart.
Chances are, if you're watching, you love hockey, you don't need to get out of your seat for a while. There'll be hockey action for each of 8 days in a row starting tonight. At the very least, each of these series we played every other day, so we're next with you on Friday for game 2.
So you got 8 straight days of NHL action here. As long as we get at least through game 4, assuming both teams don't sweep, you're not going to have to worry about it. You're going to have a game each night, and pretty good ones in the series at that. Barbashev at the net with Eichel. This is deflected by Colorado. They'll get out of it. Necas will make the drop pass. Eichel on the work to break anything out toward the right side. 9:05 left to go in the second. We get a whistle away from the play. Again, I didn't see that on the ESPN camera cut. So if we get anything, a little miscommunication between linesmen, I guess. So we should be okay.
Barbashev gets the pass from Dorofeyev. And this is one of those rush chances we talk about Colorado getting. You see Colorado chasing the ball back at the beginning. You're chasing back to your zone, so you're not really in any defensive posture. 2 really light passes, and Eichel gets a deflection on Scott Wedgwood.
5 goals in the last 3 games for Pavel Dorofeyev, 9 in the postseason, leads the NHL. Again, Logan Stankoven is 7 out of 8. So you're going to watch that for them. Again, Canes finally get going after a 12-day layoff tomorrow against Montreal. I'll be back with you around the same time, 8:10 Eastern for that. We got 8:50 left to go in the second. It was a scoreless game for us between Vegas and Colorado on a Wednesday night. Marner will go ahead and try to dig for this puck as Colorado will take the long foot, get it out of their zone, at least they're neutral as it bounces off the blade of Hannafin. Here's Will Carlson. Now on the left of Marner. Marner plays it off the window, sends it around the kick plate. There'll be a chase now, Keegan Kolsar. He can't locate. And it's a 3-on-3 developing. This is Kadri. They'll have it. Settle back around now for Kulak, the defenseman. We'll get back to his proper positioning as a long wrister will be closed 5-hole by Carter Hart. It is 18 shots to 15 in favor of Colorado. Here's a turnaround. Howden. He has this one get pushed across. Thought that might have been offside, but Colorado still nonetheless. Off the 1-on-2. Here is Colton off the drop for Nichushkin, and that one up high hits Carter Hart. He fights it off. This will roll through the neutral zone. Nazem Kadri, nice diving play. Gets it back to his defenseman. Keeps them with puck possession. Ross Colton feeds it over. Rister. This is hit up high. Carter Hart makes the save, and then someone takes a tumble behind the net. Picked up now. Here for Colton Sissons. Now for Saad. High slot scores! Vegas gets on the board with a beautiful chance in the middle of the slot. Dylan Conklin. If you had him on your bingo card, happy birthday. It's 1-0 Vegas. It's just Dylan Coughlin's 7th goal of his career, and it gives Vegas a 1-0 lead against the Colorado Avalanche. Maybe we will have a series. I didn't think we were going to get his first goal since December 17th of 2021. There's this one sent in, picked up now by Carter Hart. The one thing I mentioned to you in the pregame, I know it was only about 6 minutes, as this is iced against Vegas, is Carter Hart. I've said there throughout the stories there, and alongside of Anaheim, you got a save percentage that's in the 930s. the ability to be able to bounce back. And you can talk about all the other stuff that happened in between the World Juniors and the case, the court cases, everything else. Bottom line is, there was a lot of teams that could have went out and picked up Carter Hart, used his services. Vegas, again, as usual, Kelly McCrimmon, step up on the front foot. They make the tough decision to get rid of Bruce Cassidy, bring in John Tortorella. That coaching staff from Tortorella is used to Carter Hart in Philadelphia. Now he's the starter in Vegas. Again, he's a giant reason why they're in this position. Rister goes wide. Settle back around for Kolsar. As McNabb turns it over. In the middle of the circles, McNabb will get it back. It's intercepted in the high slot by MacKinnon. He'll slow up shot. This gets deflected in behind the net. Colorado looking to buzz here and tie this game. Centering feed bounces off the pads to Hart. And McNabb try to get it out of the zone. 6:15 left to go in the second as it's neutral ice puck pickup here for Colorado. Captain and Gabriel Landeskog have this one. They'll leave it toward the left side dot. Here's a chance in the high slot, and Carter Hart sees it all the way, makes a great glove save at 6:03.
Played in 3 regular season games in the NHL this year, 62 in the AHL. 6 NHL games last year in Winnipeg, most of the year. Now, year before that, 2 games in the NHL with Carolina. One, that was 2 years ago, and 17 NHL games the year before that. And here he is, first goal of the Western Conference Final. That one set wide by Burns.
Colorado's got it now. Near the left side dot, 5:50 left to go in the second. Dylan Coghlan has the game's first and only goal. As we get a whistle away from the play, there is an injured Vegas Golden Knight down. Rasmus Andersson got hit away from the play. Might have got hit in the mouth. I see him kind of moving his eyes and a little bit of a dust up because he's got some water there. He got hit up toward the face. And that is, let me make sure I get a number on that for you, ladies and gentlemen. Ross Colton should be going to the box. Dylan Coghlan right to the 5-hole in Wedgwood. Makes it 1-0 VGK. 5:44, we'll take a break. It's Brandon Sod and Colton Sissons with the assist.
USPS has increased daily average processing capacity by 46% in the past 5 years. And with USPS Ground Advantage, come back to the same secure network, not store, nationwide, for full visibility, real time tracking, affordable pricing, for peace of mind. USPS Ground Advantage, official shipping sponsor, NHL.
There's no fee in the middle on Capital One taking account. What's in your wallet?
Oh, I don't think Russ Colton's very happy here. He thinks Rasmus Andersson took a bit of a dive here as they get tied up in front of the net.
5:44.
And eventually you're going to see
Ross Colton gets. Oh, Anderson sold that pretty well. I'll say this here for Ross Colton on that up against Rasmus Andersson. I think he sold that pretty damn well, and that will put Colorado at a disadvantage here. Another Vegas power play. They score another goal here for the end of the second to go up 2-0. I know it's not light years for a lead, but this opens the door. The door was open before puck drop when you knew that Cale Makar wasn't playing in this game 1. It's kind of the ones that Vegas has to take advantage of. They get one here. They're 9 for 36 in the playoffs on the power play, 0 for 1 with no shots. But Dylan Coghlan just a couple minutes ago scored 5 hole in the slot from Wedgwood. It was all fourth line. Coghlan from Sod and Sissons. Pull back up this roster sheet here for the Avs as we get settled for this draw. It is Brock Nelson. He'll win it. This will be on a play and hit the netting at 5:39. We'll keep this face-off right where it was on the left eye.
Of course, face-off beat so much here. Nelson will take the draw for Colorado, and because it's on this side of the ice, Tomas Hertl will take it for Vegas.
Tomas Hertl and Brock Nelson. And off a rolling vulcanized rubber, it'll belong to Josh Manson. And Manson will make the smart play, clear it down the ice. Belong now to Shea Theodore. Start this again in his own end. Road whites and the mix of the black pants and the gold and red striping on the arms will be going right to left. Jack Eichel. He'll race across the left side wing. Gets around one. He was all sorts of tied up in the mouth. He got hit up high. No call. This will be settled back down for Vegas. Shea Theodore will take an outstretch from 70. Belong back to Jack Eichel. Eichel make a pass to Hertl. It's beautiful to Marner. Marner splits one. Centering feed. It scores! Mitch Marner to Dorofeyev. And it's 2-0 Vegas. That's on the power play. So Marner makes the windmill, and then as he's falling down, makes a sick entry to Dorofeyev. Wide open near the right side. No chance for Wedgwood. So I think Eichel might get a secondary, but it's Marner to Dorofeyev. His 10th of the playoffs, 4th in the power play, tied for most in the NHL in the postseason. But Pavel Dorofeyev, as he's affectionately called, done so yet again. 2 goals on 18 shots, both against Wedgwood here. Colorado needs the next goal. Did I think I was going to say that in this game? Hell no. But that is where we are right now. It is an ozone draw, 4:49 left to go in this second. Nathan MacKinnon can't win it against Nick Dowd. And it's the small additions for Kelly McCrimmon. Guys like Nick Dowd. Keep Brandon Saad over a couple of years. You get Colton Sissons. You add in Dylan Coghlan. You got Dorofeyev, who you drafted a couple of years ago late in the first round. But a lot of those guys in the fourth line are able to do damage. They said fourth line on fourth line. It would have the advantage. Vegas looks good there. I didn't necessarily believe it, but I'm seeing it right now with my eyes. 19 points in the playoffs, leads NHL, so Marner gets a primary for Dorofeyev's power play goal. It's 2-0 VGK. Long outstretch pass. Does not hit. Shea Theodore to Braden McNabb. This one not cleared out. McNabb, second effort. Stolen by Colorado. See what they can do with it. Kadri off the lead. The slap shot blocked. Vegas. Carlson was on the chase. Will get sent back in by Colorado. McNabb will get it back there. It was a good play. And alongside Riley Smith, hadn't called his name too much. Carlson will send it in. Picked up on the back pass. Here for Colorado as they got in their own end. Brent Burns with an outlet. See if Colorado can attack and transition. Right now, their speed has been neutralized by Vegas. Nichushkin overskates it. This is Marner again. Fresh off that power play assist. Marner, Ripper. This one will be held by Wedgwood at 3:23.
Back in March 10th, 2021, at age 23, undrafted, he became the first and still the only defenseman in the Golden Knights history to have a hat trick against the Minnesota Wild.
That becomes a long road until the next great opportunity. This is a good opportunity for him. Not just to do it, but to play these playoffs and to play well.
So Tomas Hertl going to get the secondary assist, not Eichel. So it's Dorofeyev from Marner and Hertl. 3:05 left to go in the second. It's even strength and a power play goal for Vegas. That's why they're up 2-0 both in this period. Here is a cross-ice feed, and Lehkonen, former Canadian, gets his pass blocked. Picked up now. Here for Nichushkin. Try to center it in front. He'll get it back. Near the left side bumper, and Vegas will push it out with Colton Sissons. Saad try to get a piece of it. And settle back down for Sean. So Jack Sean would certainly be one of those guys probably not in the lineup if Cale Makar was here. And does the urgency, if Vegas wins this game all of a sudden, I know it's only one game in the series, but does that mean Cale Makar got to come back as soon as it happens? Here's a wrister. Carter Hart makes a save. It bounced above the net, and Barbashev was akin to it. Try to get it out. Send back in behind the end boards now. Colorado trying to keep attacking here. Sean off the drop. Here's a bump from Malinski, and this one deflected. Sam will keep it in. Here's a lead for Logan O'Connor. Glove save! Carter Hart, 203 with a dandy right at the top of the right circle.
Colorado's most dangerous forwards, and a good move over the corner back for the Avalanche. Their fourth line is as dangerous at 5-on-5 as anybody else. All right, another sharp save with the glove. They keep this game 2-0. Colorado's really going to find a way to keep the 5-on-5 pressure up.
Colorado can't win an ozone draw. Here's Marner again. Off the 1-on-3. He'll get the steal. Send it back in behind the end boards here. Mitch Marner has been all over the ice. The golden prized possession, that is a pun for the Vegas Golden Knights and Mitch Marner. That was the guy to get. And Vegas was the one to do it. They're showing you why. They went out and paid him that boatload of money. He has been a playoff performer throughout the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's a much better team now with the Vegas Golden Knights, and they are $1.45 away in this middle stanza from holding on to that 2-0 lead. Trailing by multiple goals for the third time in the last 4 games is Colorado. They were able to get past some of that from Minnesota, but I will even say this. I thought Minnesota, if they beat Vegas, would make the Stanley Cup Finals, and maybe they would have. But at least Colorado, if they haven't gotten the message for the first 2 periods, they'll certainly have it now by the end of this night, regardless of what happens, that they need to find another level that they haven't reached yet in this game. 3.63 goals for, as a wrister is knocked down for Will Carlson. Here's MacKinnon on a 1-on-1. He tried to blow past the glove of Carter Hart in the top right corner, and he missed it. MacKinnon, 4.11 in the playoffs goals for. They were both first, but right now Colorado being shut out through 2 periods. As this one settled back down the ice off the 1 foot. Kulak chases his man into the corner. Pass eludes him. Kadri leaves now for Brett. Kulak now to the right side boards. Kadri in the high slot. One-timer Nelson. And Carter Hart will meet that as this goes back down the ice. Brock Nelson just wants to find any sort of points that he can put in his back pocket to give Colorado some momentum here. They need it. Josh Manson, beautiful pass. Now for Nichushkin. He's another one of those guys that's usually an X factor. It's loose, and this is going to be a tripping penalty. Nichushkin, I think, got messed up by Nick Dowd. 35.3. Remember in the first frame, Colorado got a power play right at 50 seconds. This one late as well, And Nick Dowd's going to sit. He's a really good penalty killer as well and a face-off man. Dowd was going to sit. Now this will belong to Ben Hutton. Dowd thought it was him. It could have been either one, to be completely fair, now that we got that replay. It'll be Ben Hutton in the box. I think if you're Vegas, you probably take that transaction, all things considered. 35.3. Avalanche just 6 for 25 in the playoffs on the power play. That was never a strength for them in the regular season. It's insane considering what they can bring. Landeskog, MacKinnon, Necas, Kadri, and Taves. Again, that Taves is taking that spotlight for Cale, Makar not playing in this one. Kadri, on the right side window for Taves. Taves leaves it off for Necas, one-timer that misses up high. Settle back down the ice. Wedgwood stops it. There's Devon Taves. Slowly. Off the drop now. Kadri open across the left wing. His foot pass does not hit Necas, not anywhere close. Into the neutral zone. Kadri sends it in toward the left side red line. Landeskog takes a hit. Necas down to 4 at the net. Kadri stonewall by Hart. And that ends the second period. Vegas up 2-0. And this is a surprising scoreline to some. And yes, I'll raise my hand. I am some. 6-0 is the record when leading after 2. Most wins in the NHL in the postseason. Golden Knights trying to keep perfection. It'd be 7-0 should they hold the next 20. They're up by 2. Come back, we'll call more.
Sean, look, you might cost 10 million score goals for so a lot of things to like on both sides. You know, both Colorado and Vegas. But for me, the depth players, like I said, that's the for Vegas. Get them on the board. Bill Conley, you've got a depth defenseman for Vegas, finding a way to get up the ice first. A solid defensive play, then getting up the ice. But it's the work by the third line, both positions in the company to get the job done on that goal.
And look at the puck watching on both goals from Colorado. When you watch the replay, they see guys watching the play instead of getting in position before they start to know what they're going to do with it after. You got to get back, you got to hustle, you got to fight. You can't get beat up the ice by defensemen, fourth and fifth wingers, and they did on the one goal. I don't know, sleepy or the lack of energy there on home ice here. A little bit to me. They don't have that same speed, but we have to credit Vegas, and that's what Vegas had to neutralize.
Well, if what's a Logan? O'Connor. If Logan O'Connor's their best threat, Vegas will take that in a heartbeat. Like, come on. Yeah, great. He's been great.
All right, coming up. Hey, Theodore was crowned the champion. Get you some of that and bring it out second period.
Shotboard, Colorado wins that 15-10 in the second. They're out shooting Vegas 25-20, but they're down 2-0. Hits 26-21. Hits were 9-12 in favor of Vegas in that frame. Face-offs 22-21 in favor of the Avs. (13-13) in that frame. Power plays Vegas 1 for 2. Colorado will be 0 for 2 if they don't score. throw this in the comment box here for you. For both of these, and there's your reset. I said, if Cale Makar misses extended time, do the Avalanche still win this series? Just the one vote, but one vote says yes. And we'll see if that holds because, again, there was a lot of you that said this series was going to be close and then the upset could happen. In the ESPN panel, in between Mark Messier, PK Subban, and Steve Levy, 3 or 4 of them actually took Vegas. And 30 out of 32 on the ESPN side, which did not include them with the exception of Levy, took Colorado. Most of them took Colorado in 6 or less. I was in that same category. You do think when you have a situation where Cale Makar not playing today, that probably puts you into a must-win for Vegas. At least take advantage of that. Get yourselves on the front foot. I have to give Vegas credit for their defensive intensity, but I do agree with the panel and some of my own thoughts from covering this game through 40 that Colorado looks a little slow. I think that they can play much better. I think that they know that they need to. And we'll be honest here, if Colorado gets a loss coming into 2 nights from now, that would put this on a Friday night of May 22nd. That might post-hasten Cale Makar coming back here at Ball Arena for Game 2 because it's just too important. You go down 2-0 to Vegas and you go back to Sin City. Colorado is a team that can get back up and tie the series, but you don't want to be in that luxury if you don't need to be. I'll be right back. We'll call the third. Got another about a minute 30 here before the start of the third. Colorado is going to be on a power play. If they don't score, they'll be 0 for 2. Carter Hart, brilliant once more. 25 of 25 to begin through the first 40. And if the Vegas Golden Knights, and I'm saying this through game 1 through only 2 periods, but if the Vegas Golden Knights find a way to win this series, Carter Hart's going to have to play like an MVP. And he's done that so far throughout this game. I don't think that comes to a surprise as of anyone. Maybe the part of his play for as good as it's been, but not the ability to win the series. I think that is an X factor that we have to say it that way.
You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on ESPN, presented by Geico. Ball Arena, Denver, Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Vegas takes the ice for the third period, leading 2-0, despite the fact that Colorado has a decided edge in shot attempts and ozone time. Colorado playing without Cale, Makar tonight, and Ray, a minute 25 on the Avalanche power play to begin the period. Feels like a very big situation for them.
It really does, because Vegas defends really well. They clean the front of the net up pretty nicely, and so you've got a chance here to match the power play goal that Vegas scored in the second period. The Dorofeyev goal that made it 2-0.
So Colorado going to have a $120 plus thereabouts to start this third period of power play time. They're down 2 goals. Dylan Coghlan and Pavel Dorofeyev, the latest on the power play, both of those goals in the second. That's where we are as we start the third. Landeskog and Necas will chase it. And on the left side boards is Devontae's has it. MacKinnon was called for near the left dot. He's forced to pivot. He will skate on his backhand and dust it off to Marty Necas. Now it'll be in the left bumper for MacKinnon. He'll try to provide a screen. Necas cross ice feed. This deflects before it ever hit Carter Hart. Little inside out positioning off a lift. Gives it to Necas. He's got space to shoot. Does not. Leaves for Taze. And this is saved by Carter Hart. Goes back down to Landeskog. Nazem Kadri. Find the lane. Working behind the net now for Marty Necas. Necas being dwarfed in the corner. This is picked up now. MacKinnon can't get to it first, and Vegas successfully clears it down the ice. It's a penalty kill that's close to 95% in these playoffs. Plus 12 goal differential for the Avs. And the third leads the NHL, and they're going to need to add to it. Here's Brock Nelson. He just wants to get on the board here and try to give Colorado some life. Nick Wall, power play line numero dos out there for Jared Bednar's squad. Sam Malinski. Leave now on the left out for Necas, who's still out there, part of the top line. Malinski fires, deflected, and right out of the box is Hutton. Hutton leads the rush. This one up and scored! It's Vegas! Ben Howden! Right off the draw, Hutton keeps it alive, and Brett Howden scores it, and Vegas up by a trifecta. And I'm shocked the score differential has gotten this high. You could say one thing if Vegas were to win it by a goal or two, but it's 3-0 Vegas. You could argue it's a perfect bounce to Ben Hutton right off the box to Brett Howden, and you would be correct. It led a 2-1-0 rush. Howden got the rebound to it. It beats Wedgwood. A little bit unlucky But yet, I think the point I'm thinking of still stands. Colorado has been a little bit slow in this opening game, and they really need to get it going. Kind of makes me wonder if that's what we're going to see tomorrow in between the Canes and Montreal, because Carolina's been off for 12 days when they get a chance to start tomorrow. And Montreal has had both of their series go 7. Would we see the same type of start in that game, or is Carolina going to be ready to go? Because right now Vegas is. They've been shot out of the cannon. It's 3-0. The road team leads to begin Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. They score very early in this third. That way they're taking command of a team that many expected to at least make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, myself included. But it's just Game 1. You got a long way to go in this series. Wedgwood now, stop it. From the goal crease. Coughlin. Send this one back down. Picked up now by Carter Hart. See if he can still hold on to that clean sheet, but overtime certainly doesn't seem to be in the cards tonight. So I'll be able to keep my voice. As Brent Burns out of the left side dump. This will be left now and sent in deep as Taze trying to provide some help. A little mix into the lines there for Jared Bednar's squad, just trying to get something going for the Cerulean and Maroon. They want to go right to left. This pass is out. And Brent Burns will have to start again. Time becoming a factor, 16:25 in the third. I know it's weird to say it that way when you think about Colorado, but they're down 3-0. Picked up now for Vegas. Howden out there on alert in the own end. Great spin for Carlson. Needs some help here for Brett Howden. Send it in behind the inboards. We'll hit the netting first. At 16:08, we get a stoppage. So Hutton blocks the shot. Hutton's got it. It's blocker to side, and then it bounces right to Brett Howden. And Keegan Kolesar might have got shaken up on the hit from Kulak, but it might have created that space to start that play. Colorado wins a D-zone draw, and the pass is subsequently turned over. Ray Ferraro just mentioned on the camera shot, Keegan Kolesar could have rolled an ankle, so I have to keep in mind on his precautionary status move for this game, if not for Game 2. Again, they still have other forwards that they can use. Vegas differential on the road, -2 in the regular season, +13 in the playoffs. So they've certainly turned it on under John Tortorella. Again, he just said it honestly. I don't need to tinker too much. This team's already good. Just put them in the right direction. Redirection and a beautiful stop for Carter Hart off the blade of Brock Nelson. He's been locked in. He stopped 26 of 26.
Been good for a long period of time here as he started every game of the playoffs. Finished the regular season off on a really big note. Hart traps it, makes the save.
Stop the last 44 shots on goal, getting back to Game 6. Exciting game at Anaheim. One of the reasons the Willow fight that Vegas struggled for a little bit was goaltending. Their save percentage in the regular season was .879.
Right.
That was 27th in the NHL. Hart missing most of the year. They had never had a season in their history when their team save percentage was below 900.
Keep in mind in the regular season, this is a good point for ESPN and Sean McDonough laying it. Vegas in the regular season save percentage is .879. That's well above league minimum. They've never been below 900. Goals allowed per game, 2.9512. And the Pacific Division was weak, but they still ended up winning it in their 2.58 in the playoffs. And their penalty kill, that's above 96%, reminds you of the Edmonton Oilers from a couple of seasons ago, doesn't it? And this is Vegas with all sorts of talent across the board, more so than Edmonton ever had. So you could also make that comparison. Why not them? As this will be not iced. 14:45 left to go in the third. And if Vegas can do that, this would be a big shock and awe. But then again, I also have to remind myself to give the Carolina Hurricanes credit because they haven't lost a game yet, even though I feel like comfortable taking Jakub Dobesh and the Montreal Canadiens as the Golden Knights have iced it against themselves. It's just where I am. I can't let one game kind of change my thought process from watching a lot of these games, but still, I think a lot of us look at this, unless you're a Vegas Golden Knight fan, you could say Vegas can win this series, and you could say they could be winning this game, but you wouldn't think the differential would be 3. I think that's what's shocking everybody. It is Nazem Kadri, and on the circle toward the left dot. They need Nazem to be Nazem, but again, to be fair, this is 4 seasons later on his return. It never gets easier as you get older. He's more quiet in this go around. Vegas. Up the gut is Eichel. Try to get it there, and he gets it stick to the side. Barbashev sends it to the blue paint. He picked up now for Nichushkin. Nichushkin will leave a pass across the right side. Nichushkin scores between his legs. Finishes the chance off the rush. And Colorado on the board. It's 3-1. Yep. So Nichushkin, second in the playoffs, first in 4 games. He scores it between his legs off a 3-on-2 rush. Colorado on the board. Here they are now. Up a wrister. Good stick lift. Take it away from Josh Manson. He didn't want to have that counter already. It's Tomas Hertl. Chasing in the corner now for Brett Kulak. Colorado finally gets one, but they're still down 2. 13:40 left to go in the third. Cross ice feed goes from left to right dot. Hertl, rolling puck, sent back down the ice. With one to Josh Manson. Forwards for Jared Bednar's squad take a change. 27-22 on the shot board. Colorado has that edge, but not the goal department. Picked up here for Necas off the drop. Again, he's going to be the Mikko Rantanen replacement of this playoffs. See what they can do. As Landeskog saves himself from taking a big stumble into the boards. Necas sends it back to his defense. Because I thought that was Vegas not getting an ice, but it is. I thought it was Necas, but it'll be a Colorado ozone draw at 13:02.
Stanley Cup playoffs are better on the NHL app.
Won by the Avs. It belongs to Nathan MacKinnon near the left circle. Backhand puck protect. Works behind the net and will spin. Try to keep it alive now. Centering feed. It's bouncing in front of Hart at 12:50. But this is cleaned up now by Vegas. Go off the rush and stick chop it ahead for William Karlsson and settle back down. The feed bounced for a minute, which made me a little nervous. Devon Tays pushes ahead now for the cerulean and maroon. Now Landeskog is off. 11:12 of ozone time in comparison to 7:39 of Vegas. But Colorado is down 2. We'll step aside. 12:33 left in the final frame. Vegas up by a pair. Let's get those goals typed in. So Brett Howden from Ben Hutton, as we mentioned, And then Nichushkin from Ross Colton at 5:53.
I wonder if you're just cash back from buying Pavel favorite card. Let's just get one of everything.
Say cash back on clear. What's in your wallet?
I love these roses are stitched by extra name. Take them out of your side and reach your outside.
Taco Bell's lunch boxes between 5, 7, and 9 box are going to people's homes. And I would expect everything to be slugs. Where's the doorman? There is no doorman. That's why we're waiting. Try Taco Bell's 5, 7, and $9 lunch boxes.
Crowd alive with the Avalanche on the board. They're now 3-0.
Hannafin has it in his own end. Carter Hart's finally surrendered one, courtesy of Nichushkin scoring between his legs. Vegas now on the rush. It's Marner. This goes and misses the net toward the right side, and Colorado looking to answer. Brock Nelson off the lead. It's Necas. He's got space to shoot in the middle of the slot. That's easily fought off by Hart to the left side red line. Vegas, excellent work now. Push this one for Cole Smith. Off a 1-on-3, he'll chip it in and get off the ice for John Tortorella's squad. As we're almost halfway through this third, 11:50 left to go. Jonah, on your play-by-play man. It's a 3-1 lead for Vegas, threatening to take the opener of the WCF on the road at Ball Arena. Eichel, he will pick this up off the stick save from Wedgwood. Send back in behind the inboards now. Dorofeyev looking for Eichel backdoor, and that one's deflected as Dorofeyev. He's being worked over majorly in the right side corner by Brent Burns. And now Colorado will chase this here for MacKinnon. Out of the air, glove down one-handed. Lane to Scott. Got to make a quick decision here. Turnaround feed for Lehkonen. That one goes up high. Tays. Now on the right side board, see if they can send it back around for Lehkonen. He is spending some time on the top line now with Nathan MacKinnon. Jack Eichel emerges, gets the steal. Eichel now near the right side wing. Good stick chop for Sam Malinski. Will get possession in his own end. Sam turning on the burners now on a 1-on-4. Chip and chase. Gets the puck himself. Now to the left side red line. Ross Colton with possession. Third line out there for Jared Bednar's squad. And Nazem Kadri can't get to it. As Kulak flip it across ice to Sam Malinski. Nazem Kadri off the lead for Colton. Colton end up chasing this in the corner with Nick Waugh. Try to cut it off from behind the net at Carter Hart. 10:20 left to go in the third. There's Kulak near the left dot. Deflected off of Vegas. Picked up by Colorado. Left circle. There's his spin and turn. Half still with it. Send it back to the point. There's a bomb at the net. Carter Hart down. There's a massive humanity in front to make sure it doesn't leave the goalkeeper at 10:07 as the crowd's starting to get loud. Nazem Kadri trying to score a dirty goal, but he will draw the face-off.
Kulak is deflected in front by Colton. The puck goes underneath the pad of Hart, but he's able to get his pad flat enough, quick enough with the help of the stick to divide the shot and then the rebound. Hart has had a terrific night. Colton that close to making it 3-2.
Nick Dowd will win this draw. There's a long clear up in the air. Tays turns it over. This is Keegan Kolsar. He was one that got injured earlier. He's back out there from the second period. Stick is taken out of the hands of one of the Avalanche. And Brent Burns, we got a partial block. This will go up in the netting, so we'll go get to pick up his twig at 9:47. Maybe it gets time to do some more of that because we'll take one more break. We're past the halfway marker. It's 3-1 EGK.
Protein pocket, $3.99. And a 6-inch sub of the day, $4.99. Always freshly made, always available every single day.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards Visa, you can earn 6% cash back in the category like online shopping. First year from top of the and match your schedule with the match schedule.
Timber bags look so much like stuff. That kind of nuance you can achieve without pushing the boundaries of what's possible by loading. And wildfire are more of a concern. The ability to maintain the product in high moisture, high UV radiation environments. We're constantly working to be able to stay ahead of those needs even before they know they have them.
If you know luxury, it's not just affordable, it's Saga mattresses are all types of sleepers with durable steel frames and plush organic cotton. Saga luxury mattresses are handcrafted and assembled in American factories using globally sourced premium materials and brought directly to you with our complimentary in-home delivery and setup service. Saga luxury mattresses made affordable.
Denver, where the Golden Knights have built a 3-1 lead despite losing their captain, Mark Stone. He also missed his final 3 games against the Ducks with this undisclosed injury. Now, Stone did make the trip, that wasn't a guarantee, and he got on the ice this morning with the other Knights player, and the first time he skated in a team environment. There is an expectation that he will play in this game, but it sounds like he's going to have to manage.
Defensive zone tie-up there for Nick Waugh. He will get this now to the left side boards. 9:35 as we come back from break. Left to go in the third. Wedgwood will be forced to hold and a clear from 100 feet by Vegas. It will be an ozone draw for them upcoming.
Vegas leading 3-1. Mark Stone touches so much of the Vegas game, whether it's a penalty kill or a power play. One of the best thieves of the puck in the National Hockey League. John Tortorella, like every coach that ends up coaching Stone, grows a great appreciation for him in a hurry. He's a man for being at his best in the biggest moments. He's had all kinds of injury things that he's had to deal with and manage over his career. And this is another one here. They hope they get him back sooner rather than later.
Face-off win for Vegas. Sent back in behind the end boards. It's Rasmus Anderson. I haven't called his name much. This will be picked up now. Here for Barbashev. Tomas Hertl has it. Still keeping it alive on the backhand. He's just working his way around the inboards. Sent toward the net for Wedgwood. Now Colton Sissons. Fight off his man nicely with Saad. Picked up here by Colorado. As it is Nick Waugh. Waugh off the drop pass. Got late for Parker Kelly. Got Logan O'Connor out there on the fourth line. Kulak sends it across. At the net, this tip goes wide. Kulak. Try to find it there for a Sean. And this will be sent back down. He gloved out of the air. Taves gets a piece of it. Now Logan O'Connor hit the post in the first period. He's got it now on his backhand. O'Connor keeping this alive for a moment. Picked up here for Hertl. Sissons trying to get some backline support. This will be gloved down nicely by Taves. Sent in through the traffic. This is still rolling, but Vegas now finally gets possession of it. Toward the left side red line. And sent in. Devontae's. Gabe Landeskog has been the TOI leader for the Colorado Avalanche right now in the captaincy. You remember that emotional last year moment when he had it against the Eagles. He brought him in there. I thought he played so well in that time. Landeskog now has been a little more invisible at this point, but that's courtesy of the Vegas Golden Knights defense. Maybe a little bit of sloppiness in game one for Colorado. They'd be 8-2 with the loss. And the Vegas Golden Knights would be 9-4 should they get this win in the postseason. They need 16. Nazem Kadri off the drop. That goes way wide. Back now for Brent Burns. Nathan MacKinnon, he had to spin through a phone booth and put himself off sides at 7:38.
One Vegas Golden Knight and then a second coming in support. One of the challenges is as the game gets later and your frustrations build, is that you still keep playing the game. And for MacKinnon, it's focus on him all the time. And without Makar, it's easier to check him because there's one less transporter of the puck for Colorado.
Brock Nelson trying to win a neutral zone draw. Can't do it. Vegas emerges. Send this one back down the ice. And a little bit of a collision in behind the right side of the boards. Hopefully the Vegas player pops up. And Marner is the one that got hit as he's limping to the bench. That would change things. Blocker to side. They're left side by Carter Hart, but we have to keep in monitor that when they mention that on ESPN. Slap shot tipped. Saved by Carter Hart. Picked up now the other way. Marner couldn't brace himself on that subsequent position when he collided in the boards with nobody near him. And now Carlson gets hit. Kolesar sends it back in behind the end boards. And Marty Necas will get tied up again. Be mindful there's no protection on the bottom sides of those skates. Second career missed playoff game where the suspension was in 2023. That was from Seattle when they lost that first round series. Stolen by Vegas. Try to pick it up in the middle of the slot now. And off the spin and turn. It's that fourth line again. Brandon Saad. Send it back around for Kolesar. Theodore pumps, then shoots. Deflected. Wedgwood's got it. We'll see if they put an immediate camera shot on Marner at 6:28 of the third. Want to make sure on his health status. And about a minute ago, he's able to flow on the boards. He kind of got held a little bit by Sam Malinski and then lost an edge as his left leg looks to have got tangled into the right side boards. He couldn't, oh man, he got stuck where he couldn't turn it. And Howden going to get some walkout too. So that was Marner and Howden. We picked up now for Hertl. Settle back in mind the end boards, but those guys should be okay. Both Marner and Howden. Is sent back around now from Anderson. Try to leave it here for Burns. So I'll have to get back on his horse and behind the net. As Colorado still looking to get spaced. The Cerulean and Maroon will try to push this one up to the right to left. They're still down a couple of goals. They got 5:55 left to go in the third. They lead the shot board 32-26, but the only goal they got was Nichushkin in the third. Take one more break. Time is running out for the Avs in game one. So if I see you guys in the comments section, you let me know what you think. If anything changes. Now we got 2 votes. It says that the Avalanche would still win this series without Cale Makar.
One, two, three. Only pay
Need to get back on the road?
Round up dual action.
Feel the prevent weed for up to 4 months with Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works. Up to the third place.
Oh, there he is. This place, this is We'll get with you.
Or just stop by, grab one cafe or something. What's in your heart?
Today we got Scott Van Pelt. We are getting set for SportsCenter. When this one is done, we will visit with one of the stars of the game. Take Super stop by as well. Also, playoff action of the Western Conference Finals in the NBA. The Griffin going between the Spurs and the Thunder. All that is on the way. We'll see if the Avs can get back in it. Vegas has been impressive. Show up to the start.
So got you the reset there. We'll give you the NBA reset. OKC up 107-97. They're looking to even up the series against San Antonio. San Antonio already did their job, taking a game on the road. 5:45 left to go here in this third. Colorado needs a couple more. They're going to have to do so in the next couple minutes. Tays, this is toward the left side. Landeskog fighting for it from an obscure angle. But Carter Hart's got that. He stopped 32 of 33 in this game and has been absolutely dynamite so far. Tays on his own end now. 5:25 left to go in the third. As it's picked up in the left corner now for long foot from Rasmus Anderson. Glove done by Malinski and then stolen. Wedgwood going to have to fight it out. Barbashev was making life difficult as Colorado will look to push this one. Offensive end MacKinnon finally gets him space. He doesn't go for the wraparound. He sent it out in front of the net though, and his shot off the side from Artturi Lehkonen will get fought off. And then they try to go back to Nathan MacKinnon, and the pass from Nate Dogg was missed. I haven't had a chance to call his name on a dynamite plays. Backhand effort there. MacKinnon gets canceled off on the primary assist. Nazem Kadri now also out there with Nathan MacKinnon. So they are shuffling every single part of the line as Jared Bednar's squad is 29. Gets his rest. Nazem Kadri can't find the pass. There's Mitch Marner. Be thrown in an open corner. Bounced off Wedgwood. That'll kill some more time. Will Carlson try to send it back around to Mitchell. Pass is picked off. Kadri, good feed up the gut. Kulak on the rush. Kadri was open. They don't get it there. Now back toward the left side red line. Kadri at the point. It's Manson. Here is Necas with a wrister. This one up high. It's Vegas before it ever got to Carter Hart. Manson. Settle back now for Nazem Kadri. His backhand. Great move. Gets around his teammate. Necas had his stick broken. And then Mitch Marner able to get that puck because Necas doesn't have a blade. Settle back around. 1 goal in the playoffs, 38 in the regular season. So Necas has been invisible at the worst time for Colorado. They have depth, but they're going to need him, especially if they're going to have tail end time without Cale Makar. This will be lofted into the corner. Stolen. Vegas got to wait for everybody to check back up. They'll do so. Settle back around now. Colton Sissons. Finish off his hit. Parker Kelly on the outstretch. Lost the puck. That'll kill some more time for Vegas into the neutral. Kelly will watch this go back to Sam Malinski. 3:15 left to go in the third as there'll be some full cell changes. Shot it from the left side red line. It took a strange bounce. Parker Kelly can fight it off near the left side red line. And there's going to be a penalty against Vegas, I believe. Might have been played with a high stick or some sort of obstruction as the bounce goes in front of Carter Hart in a clear from 130, and that caused a little chaos. So at 3:08, we're going to get a penalty. And yes, indeed, it is against Vegas and Shea Theodore. So Shea Theodore, the attempt to clear the puck, hits Logan O'Connor right in the grill. So it's a high sticking minor right at 3:08. Colorado really could at this point. I think they should try to make this a 6-on-4. This is the time to take Wedgwood out. Indeed, Jared Bednar is doing what I'm thinking. You go with the extra attacker. You get yourself a goal here on this power play, even if it takes almost all 2 minutes. You put yourself back in this game. So Nathan MacKinnon, who already had a rest maybe of 40 seconds. Has to come back out there now. It's Landeskog, Nelson, MacKinnon, Necas, Kadri, and Taves. Carlson, Eichel, McNabb, and Anderson, a couple defensemen will oppose. It'll be Kadri in a severe pinch near the left dot. Nelson will get set to take it. Apparently, they don't think that Kadri is the best face-off man for the job. I would have went with Nazem, and they lost the puck. It's clear. This is the net. And Colorado has it on their power play. Theodore in the box for a high stick as he got the piece of Logan O'Connor. MacKinnon, not a Necas off the drop. I'm not sure why Necas did so. And now Kadri has to get hit. This is a retrieval here. Taves, not a Kadri. In the middle of the circle, it's a forced pass by Kadri now. And this is a great play for Taves to cut it off and not have it go into the empty yawning cage. 1:20 left to go in Colorado's third power play, and this is a must-get. Nathan MacKinnon up the gut wrister. This is deflected. Back to Nate Dogg. Goes to the left side red line. Power to the backhand. Scores! Landeskog! We're within one! .220 left to go in this game. Colorado still needs one more. They've scored 2 unanswered. Kulak now for Lehkonen. Sends it in behind the end boards. Howden can't get it out. It's fired toward Carter Hart and sent back down. Wedgwood in the goal crease. Vegas has iced it at 2:02. So Vegas iced the puck at 2:02. Colorado, they're going to get to pull the net one more time. Wedgwood vacates. Colorado scores 2 unanswered here in this third. It's Nichushkin and Gabe Landeskog, latest on the power play. Brock Nelson, he's got to win it. Off the tie-up, MacKinnon touches. Settle back behind. Off the long flip. Devon Taves cancels it off. Marner tried to lift his stick. He'll force the turnover at least. That'll kill some time. Back now from Landeskog, the Taves on a one-on-one. Marner wasn't leaving him alone. 1:40 left to go in the third. If Cale Makar was here, that could change some things. Necas rims it in off the glass now. 90 seconds left to go in this hockey game unless Colorado scores. Marty Necas, it's been an exciting one at the end as this is sent in one more time. Colorado needs a goal. It's a 6-on-5. Nazem Kadri back in behind the end boards for Landeskog. Kadri gets it to the point to Taves, back to 91. High slot now for Taves. Hold now for MacKinnon near the left dot. Taves, patient, looking for a lane. Here's MacKinnon near the left dot, leaves it in front. Landeskog, one more touch. This goes to Taves out of the air. Now to Nathan MacKinnon, he fires from a sharp angle. Hearts down. He makes the save with 59 seconds in the third. So MacKinnon gets denied by Hart. And it's going to be a timeout. for Colorado. They'll rest the troops here. We're going to have a barn burner finish, ladies and gentlemen. Greer says, "Go Abs. I appreciate you, my friend, for joining in. This is a barn burner here. It's been a couple of goals late. Val Nichushkin gave Landeskog. It's 3-2. Vegas still trying to hold on here. Jared Bednar has just used his timeout." Brock Nelson getting ready to take it. Jack Eichel most certainly will do on the other end. Dowd, Eichel, Marner, McNabb, Anderson. Lots of time wasters out there right now. 6-on-5 for Colorado once more. Sent into the corner. Back in behind the net. MacKinnon. Leads for Taves. Fought off by Hardy. Lost his goal stick. Sent back down. And this will be iced against VGK unless they can get there first. And they do. It's Nick Dowd. Unbelievable. 44 seconds left to go in the game, and Nick Dowd beats everybody to the puck. Vegas scores 4-2. Nick Dowd. You had Nick Dowd and Dylan Coughlin on your bingo card. Again, I already said happy birthday once. That would be a Mexican fiesta at that point. I don't even know what else to say. Two guys that you wouldn't even have in there scoring goals, and the depth for Vegas has shown through. Colorado made it a push. Slap shot block. Malinski will get it back in the I saw another one of those is ripped by Burns and saved by Hart. Hart has given up 2. But he has been sensational in this game. Wedgwood, 24 of 27. Maybe add one more of those. But Carter Hart, 35 of 37. A save percentage just under 95%. And again, we talk about how big he needs to be if Vegas is going to win this series. Yes, it is just one game. But for them to at least steal one on the road, and at worst come back to Sin City this weekend and be tied would be everything they would ask for as the crowd starting to empty their seats. This is lofted down the ice. Colorado has it. Brent Burns, all he can do is watch. It is a 4-2 final. The Vegas Golden Knights steal one on the road against the President's Trophy winners, Colorado Avalanche. They lead the series 1-0. Their next game will be Friday night, but I'll be back with you about 8:10 Eastern tomorrow between the Canes and the Canadiens. That should be another good one, but this one definitely surprised me, and I'm looking forward to the next one on Thursday. We'll get an off day Friday because I have some MIHL stuff to do, and I'll probably catch back up with you on Saturday, and we'll see what we find. Talk to you then. Peace. All right, guys, I'll see you Friday. Greer says next stream, put up the square. Yeah, if I can do that, I'll make sure I can try to do that throughout the weekend. I've been wanting to do it for a long time to get that stuff set up. Or I just have the computer side for the same side of the screen. But thank you, my friend. We'll talk.